My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramer. Other people want to make friends. I'm just trying to make you some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to teach and put it all in context. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC, or, of course, tweet me at Jim Cramer. We can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. But unfortunately, we're separated from that light by a big chasm. And if we can't bridge that chasm, then you got to look out below. Thanks to some terrific vaccine news from the highly promotional Moderna, the averages roared today. Dow gaining 228 points, S&P climbing 0.91%, Nasdaq advancing 0.59%, big tech holding back here. Despite the horrendous COVID-19 case numbers coming out of Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, we might be able to go back to normal sooner than we thought, thanks to Moderna, or frankly, the dozens of other companies that are working on a vaccine, including AstraZeneca, which was neck and neck with the stock of Moderna all day and actually finished the session with a greater gain. Okay, so the vaccines, that's the light at the end of the tunnel. It led to some euphoric and, frankly, ludicrously bullish action in the usual suspects: cruise lines, airlines, restaurants, the second-tier retailers. I call them vaccine gang. But even if everything goes perfectly, it'll be months before vaccine ready, maybe half a year. That's what makes these moves fanciful to me. You got to finish studying before you inoculate. Moderna's vaccine hasn't even entered phase 3 trials yet. They need to make sure it works and there are no serious side effects when presented en masse, not just this little group. And then we need to manufacture hundreds of millions of doses. So in the interim, there is only one serious, fairly foolproof method to bridge us to a successful vaccine, and that's stimulus from the federal government. Stimulus to you, to the business you work for, or the business you own. However, this market's attitude is totally binary. On days when we get good vaccine news like today, you know exactly what will rally now. Royal Caribbean, Wynn Resorts, United, Darden, parent of Olive Garden, along with Cracker Barrel, Disney, Norwegian Cruise, which I love, but up 20% in one day? Come on, man! Now, I know anything can be justified in this tape. When we get a vaccine, people indeed will take cruises again. With it, the companies survive. Without it, they could run out of money before they're even allowed to start sailing again. Casinos need crowds, but social distancing means no crowds. Once we get a vaccine, gamblers will be packed into sardines around the table again, though. The airlines, not only are people afraid to fly, most other countries have even banned us. So there's not much point in international flights. Now, but what happens? American, after the close, is talking about the possibility of furloughing 25,000 people when its federal aid expires. I worry the government might need to bail them out again, take a chunk of equity. People are itching to go on vacation. We know that. Corporate travel is a great investment for most companies. Once there's a vaccine, so buyers will lap up a company desperate for cash. And yes, the stock of American Airlines finishes up 16%. That's right, 16%. And I'm worried about it surviving. Olive Garden, Cracker Barrel, they can operate at full capacity again, but only with a vaccine. Without it, they're hobbled. Disney, they're tied to sports, movies, theme parks, three businesses that don't really work when everyone's worried about catching COVID. Now, you can play this game all you want, but it does, to me, feel an awful lot like roulette, a game of pure chance. We have no idea how long it will take to get a vaccine, but we do know that it's a bad idea to own these stocks going into earnings because they will almost surely disappoint. So what happens? Thankfully, there's more than one way out of the jam. Yep, there's a couple bridges. First, we desperately need another round of stimulus from the federal government. As I mentioned, when J.P. Morgan reported last night, CEO Jamie Dimon laid out the logic of what's happening on the conference call. He didn't directly call for more government spending, but listen to this. He said, quote, in a normal recession, unemployment goes up, delinquencies go up, charges go up, home prices go down. None of that's true this time. He continues, savings are up, incomes are up, home prices are up. Why? Because of the last round of stimulus, especially the super generous jobless benefits that expire at the end of the month. All right, that's terrific. I'd say it's a miracle the economy's holding up this well, but miracles don't cost $2.2 trillion. However, J.P. Morgan still had to take some gigantic loan loss charges because of what's coming, the end of the stimulus. Bailout was only meant to last through July. We figured we'd have maybe the virus contained in early fall. But we botched the reopening, and now states are being forced to shut down again. That's the chasm. The extra $600 a week in jobless benefits disappears right as a huge chunk of the country closes for business. And it's not just unemployment insurance. The Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP, has made 4.8 million loans, More than $500 billion. That's great for small and medium-sized business. We've used it for our 2 restaurants ourselves in full disclosure, and also my inn. It's a fabulous life raft that's kept a ton of businesses above water. Fewer than 200,000 companies have failed during this period. That's amazing, too. Hats off to Treasury Secretary Mnuchin. He gets a lot of criticism. This program worked beautifully. Unfortunately, many of the businesses that stayed alive will be crushed by social distancing soon, especially now that so many states are rolling back the reopenings. They just can't fit enough customers to turn a profit. We're a service economy, people. There are 15 million people working in the restaurant industry alone. Many of these jobs could disappear when the payroll protection borrowers realize they can't make a living in this environment. It's unrealistic. So those businesses will close up shop, and the extra jobless benefits go away. No wonder the bank stocks couldn't get much lift on seemingly sensational numbers. So what do we do? Well, first, I'm asking you to temper the vaccine hopes. Hope is not part of the equation. The drug companies have to make sure their vaccines are safe, then get out in earnest for gigantic trials that's even going to be hard to enroll before they start manufacturing en masse if everything goes right. The FDA isn't going to suspend its rules here. That was something that will be administered to hundreds of millions of people, including children. It just doesn't work that way. If you want to hope for something, hope that Congress is willing to spend a lot more money. Unfortunately, that's far from a sure thing. Secretary Mnuchin needs to get in there and lobby aggressively. Maybe he can bring in some medical executives to hammer home the gravity of the situation. Honestly, it should not be this hard to throw money at voters in election year. Now, of course, I'm saying the best for last. There's one other way if Washington doesn't come through, but it relies on us. We need to wear these. We need to wear masks. All of us. It's that simple. The other day, I unveiled a contest on this show to design a mask that more people will wear. If you're 15, 24 years old, you can participate. There's $1 million prize for the best one. What's best? It's the one that most people want to wear. We can't make the technicals better, but something that's good that everyone will get when it gets behind. So will Americans do what's necessary here? I'm starting to believe the mask will prevail. Not long ago, Costco decided to go with the no mask, no service. Back then, a lot of people resisted the idea. They thought Costco would take a hit for turning away customers. They thought they were dreamers. Au contraire, mon frere. They just had a blowout month with double-digit same-store sales growth. Now, this morning, Walmart adopted the same policy. I'm into them, trying to get them to talk about it. After the close, Kroger, largest grocer, did the same. Tens of millions of people shop at these places every week. This may be the breakthrough we need. I'm going to call it the mask pontoon bridge. It's cheaper and more efficient than another government bailout. According to Salesforce.com's Mark Benioff, who's become an expert in reopening the economy and is part of this mask initiative, the competition I'm talking about, if everyone wore masks for 3 weeks, we could stop the pandemic in its tracks. That's what he told us when we rolled out the X Prize competition, xprize.org. It is a charity. I say nonprofit. I say make it 5 weeks and we are golden. Although I don't know if I want to wear a spam mask for 5 straight weeks. Oh, what the heck. If we embrace masking 2/3 of this market, the non-COVID stocks would explode higher. The bottom line, if you can't be bothered to wear a mask to protect your health or the health of those around you, please do it for the economy. I know it's not that comfortable. I know it doesn't look that great, although this one's stylish. Maybe we get a more stylish one, but it gets us across the chasm, and that's what matters. And why don't we just design a better mask together and pay someone $1 million to do it?
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.